maybe you needed that moment, right? I know I needed that moment. And so I shared it with you so that you too can find that moment in your moment. You know what I mean? To breathe, stretch, expand, breathe, stretch, expand. Quite literally and quite frankly. Oh, wouldn't you agree? But either way, welcome. Welcome. If you need to play that back because you watched instead of participated, then by all means, that's why it's recorded. It's recorded so that you can play it back. I decided to come on camera today. I know. It's like, okay, we on camera now. Usually you hear all my 50 badillions, gazillions of voices. Now you get to see the voices and the faces. Believe there are faces. So welcome. I'm not sure how long we're gonna be here. I haven't decided that yet. But I know that we are going to tap in, turn on, tune in as we already are, as we should. And we're gonna go take a dive because that is what we do here, right? For our evolutionary highs. So definitely get comfy. You can, if it's long, if it's too long and stuff like that for you, then you know what I say to you, watch it in parts, but eat them on a whole. Yeah, so I might be pausing things myself because my butt cheeks. I need to stretch my legs. It took me actually quite some time to hit record. I was sitting here and well, I wasn't sitting here, I was avoiding sitting here, right? So but yeah, I needed that moment. So I put the beats on and that came on and I was like, fuck it, let me stretch. And so let us stretch, right? Sometimes, we gotta get real literal with the vision we have for certain kind of things, especially when it involves transmutation, right? It's like I had to hurry up and hit record and get into the groove, right? But pause there was. And so sometimes to get into that connection that we want to be in, like self-discipline is needed. And so sometimes we need to motivate ourselves, to inspire ourselves to do that which we must in order to gain that which we will, you know? Where was I going with all of that? I don't know. But I'll be right back. Hello. So, welcome. So much time later has passed. I make no apologies, but I don't know. We might be like, it's like that preteen state, like like when from adolescent to teenager, that awkward stage of transition where the kid goes through this weird state of being, because it's like they're not an adult, they're not a little kid anymore. They're now this puberty stricken um growing, emotionally fueling but not understanding the emotions that they're fueling, and being guided in every single which kind of way, like, you know what I'm saying, conditioning. And it's just like this awkward state of being, right? I don't know, like that's what just came to my mind right now. So in our spirituality, in our own awakening, I hate all these labels. I wish we didn't have them, but it is how we communicate, and it's how I can convey that which needs to be articulated. You know what I'm saying? So just, it's language. It's for communication. It's for our communication, and and also connection and stuff, right? So I just ate. When I paused, my daughter had made me something and it was delicious, and I devoured it. So excuse me, I got a little full belly now. Anyways, but I have to hurry. So what was I saying? So yeah, so it's in life, like we go through these stages, we go through these phases, we go through these cycles, we go through this evolution, right? And so it might feel like that for many of you that are tapped in, turned on, tuned in with me, where you're in this transitionary, transformative, evolutionary, quantum point in your life, in all different aspects, in all different venues, in all different stages, in all different arenas, in all different places, in all different placements. And it's just like, whom am I? 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 Whom I? Yeah, so my giggle's famous. It is. It's a funny place to be. It's awkward too. So it's like my giggle. So there we go. I guess that's why I'm saying that, because anytime I Google or in any kind of setting or place where there's people, it's somebody says something about it, right? No. She heard me calling her. What? But when you hear the call, you know what I'm saying? So what was I saying? So it's like that. So like, and so sometimes in a public setting, somebody always says something, right? And it just makes it even more awkward. So that kind of feeling, right? Because there's like you're in an awkward space, an unknown space and place that like evolutionary, revolutionary, is transiting, it's transformative, it's epic, you're epic, you are epic, right? Your life is epic. You are that main character syndrome, right? Like it's just like that main character. You are in your vessel, you are showing up. I am here. Yeah. So I am here and you're here, and that is it, and we're here. Okay, now goodbye. Okay, so 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 and you bringing your sexy back, right? If you go check out my other video where we were singing that song, right? You're bringing sexy back. So, and what that is like, that's your mojo, that's your juice, that's your pleasure, that's your deliciousness, that's your mana, that's your whole, that's your alchemy, that's your you're so delicious. Exactly. No matter your flavoring, no matter what, because you are the ingredient. You are the mix of ingredients all the time. And so all the time you're being in that present state. And so in this conscious awake fake, right? I said I don't like labels and all this kind of stuff, but here we are, right? So this is like your evolutionary up, your level up. level me up. Oh, look, it went brighter. Great. You get what I'm saying? So it's like level up. But that's what's up in the self-discipline department, right? And so this awkward transitionary new period of placement and your awareness of it, your present, I am present in my everydayness, in my nowness, because my now is one, right? Play that back. My now is one. My now is one. That's worth repeating. My now is one. Right? So here we are. So in this self-disciplinary state, and then I wrote something down too. You can't write, so that can go on later, but patience is a virtue because I wrote that down, right? And we just, that's what we're going to do. We're going to look at the definition of patience and virtue, okay? We're not just going to say, oh, patience is a virtue. Nah, we're going to go a little bit deeper than that, okay? That's good on camera. I do that a lot. Is anybody else here a drooler? Oh, of course. Wait, it's not doing. Right. So hey, okay. Okay. Patient. The capacity to accept or tolerate delay, trouble, or suffering without getting angry or upset. That is worth repeating. Patience. The capacity to accept or tolerate delay, right? The capacity to accept or tolerate delay, trouble, or suffering without getting angry or upset. Virtue. I don't like this definition because it's so basic. Behavior showing high moral standards. What is the best definition of virtue? A particular moral excellence, a beneficial quality or power of a thing, manly strength or courage, valor, right? And what's the definition of moral? Concerned with the principles of right and wrong behavior and the goodness or badness of human character. Holding or manifesting high principles for proper conduct. We can say that one. Holding or manifesting high principles for proper conduct. Right. So what was the whole point of that? Right. Patience is a virtue, but it's our attitude that's going to deliver us from evil, right? Spell evil backwards, we got live. You gotta live. You gotta live. Say evil. Evil could be evolve and love too. You know what I'm saying? But this discipline, okay. So you're in this weird period of liberation, evolution, revolution. And it's like you're climbing the mountain, right? And you're taking in all the beautiful landscape on your way up this time. But now you're like at a peak of a mountain. You're still not at the top of the mountain, right? Because that's how I'm seeing it. But you're like, you know how goats be chilling on the edge of the mountain with the hooves, and they just be like, don't mind me, just passing. So you're passing, even though you're that wolf, that lone wolf kind of thing too, because a lot of it is you got to journey it alone. Like you can climb the mountain with other people, but it is you that got to get yourself to the top. You know what I'm saying? Unless somebody's gonna carry you. Who's carrying you? Me. Right? So self-discipline, right? Self-discipline. Let's read that. The profound nature of vegan mysticism came from their intense self-discipline. As an example, you see this now in martial arts or meditation practices. Spiritual skills do not develop without this self-discipline and devoted practice. Karmically, many humans now either resist discipline or crave it because of their ancient experiences. What is your pattern? Know that self-discipline is a vital Mercury. Right? What is your pattern, right? Know that self-discipline is a vital part of spiritual growth and evolution. I lose my place when I get silly. Lose your place when you get silly. You lose your place when you get silly. It's okay to get silly, but don't lose your place. Let me finish this. Know that self-discipline is a vital part of spiritual growth, but too much of it creates rigidity. It is important to find the middle ground and use discipline as a tool to further your growth without it becoming a hindrance. Probably the best pop culture reference to help people understand the nature of the ancient vegan people is that of Mr. Spock from Star Trek. Who here did not watch Star Trek but did see it in passing because it was on regular TV? Who here, although as sci-fi as can be, never really thoroughly thought that they would ever enjoy Star Trek, and so didn't really watch it as a kid? Isn't that crazy? As sci-fi as I am, and as even at that age, I was having so many trippy. We're gonna talk about a lot of these trippy experiences from my own experiences in life and stuff, because I know that many of you have had to have your own too. And so how wonderful would that be to scare? And you know, people have labeled them all scary stories, ghost stories, spirit stories, whatever stories, but nah, they be real. And it's time that we just okay, if you think I'm crazy, then that's on you. Then bye-bye, for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, no, I'm not going to hinder, right, my experience, whether it be whatever, right? But it has been a huge part of my entire existence. So I'm not going to shun it out or leave it out and stuff like that. I'm very open to my own evolutionary experience. I've gone through different stages, different phases, different places. And so when you do those kind of things, you go on different decrees of your own evolution. And so that happens for all of us. We're all on our evolution, but in different spaces and places in our own space, as we should be, because you don't need to be where I am. I don't need to be where you are. We're each on our own individual, awesome quantum journey, right? There's no compare and contrast. You cannot compete where you don't compare. This is the fucking argument out there. Like people are like, oh, she's just fucking, what do you mean? You think you're better than me? No, I just don't think that you can compete where you don't compare. And if you can't understand that out there because you want to be thinking and taking it all personally, you cannot compete where you don't compare, because we're not the same, even though we can be the same. You know what I'm saying? And getting on that evolutionary of reign, REIGN, of just knowing your position, your place, your space. That way, when people want to take bites, how was that? No meat for you. You didn't take a bite out of me. Take a bite out of your own shit. That's that serpent. That's that Ouroboros shit coming back to you full circle. You know what I'm saying? So like getting into that placement of knowledge is your power, right? And let that be your empowerment. It's one thing to know a lot of things. You can know a lot of things. But what you do with that know and how you apply that what you know and all that kind of stuff and the seeds that you sow, you know, that's going to determine your growth. And that's just how it is. You can know a lot, but what that shit got to do, come one ear out the other. Right? When you don't apply the principle, the moral, the lesson. Right? Anyways, I'm not, you know, someone very dear who I love and absolutely respect had said something to me most recently, and they said it with absolute love, and they said it with absolute respect, and it wasn't in an arguing kind of way, it wasn't in a snooty way, it wasn't in a rude way, it wasn't anything, but they were like, you must have heard that a lot, where when you talk it just feels like a lecture sometimes. And this person is absolutely right. I have been hearing that my entire fucking life. Don't preach a choir. Don't preach it to me. So that's why whenever I have fudged up in life and stuff, and people who held on to that, like, oh, she all preachy, oh, miss preachy, and all that. And then if something bad happened to me or something went down secretly, they were like, you know, good for her, because look, she need to get off of her mighty horse and all this kind of stuff, oh, high horse and stuff. And it has been like an Achilles heel to my thing, because I had gotten defensive and I always would fight back. I'm like, I'm not being preachy. You can do whatever you want, because that's like that Sagittarius quality in me. You do whatever you want. I'm just talking. I'm not here to judge you. But there are certain things. If you're doing stuff that's too wild for my energy, electromagnetic field in life and what I want for me and stuff, then obviously, like, I gotta do what's best for me. So it's either I fudge with you or I don't. But I don't judge you. Do you? Don't involve me though. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times people, when you're strong in your personality, people take that like you think either you're better than them, or like you alpha. I'm Sigma. I resonate the most with Sigma, meaning I got alpha traits, personality, all this kind of shit, but I don't need a crowd. I don't need to lead. I don't want to lead. None of that kind of shit. You could do whatever you want, and please just don't involve me. That type of thing. Like, but you know, like this is that wounded healer type of, you know, and then we have this society of conditioning where they're like, oh, practice what you preach. So if you fuck up, you better not say nothing, because who is you to tell anybody anything about anything? Mind you, you speaking from the heart. You're like, yo, you don't need to do like how I learned the hard-headed way, or and all this kind of stuff and all this kind of stuff. Do what you want to say. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it gets to the point of just like people they'll beat you up about your leveling of stuff. Anyways, but yeah, but then at the end of the day, when real recognize real, when people want to know the fucking truth, and let's say there's 100 people in the crowd, there's 100 people that they know in the crowd, and you're there, they want the truth from you.
You know why? Because the 100 people in the crowd is gonna fuck them up and confuse them. They're gonna come straight to you. Now, I hear what they're saying, but I want to hear what you gotta say. How did you see that? Can I have your opinion, please? That's how it always is. Right? Hey. They, you know, so remember that. Remember that because that's real. That's real. People might envy, people might shade, people might not want to give you the credit that you deserve, or want to acknowledge your expertise or your wisdom or the truth that which you speak, or the message or the healing or whatever. It's because this world, everybody want to be a star. Everybody is a star. But everybody wants to be a superficial like a celebrity star, whether they have made it to or not. And it's not even so much celebrity star. Everybody wants to be acknowledged. Everybody wants to be appreciated. Everybody wants to be seen. And so depending on the levelings of everybody's evolution, depending on the levels of everybody's evolution, some is toxic and some is not. And that's where we come in, and we have to use discernment about who's being toxic about it and who's being toxic about it. But at the end of it, the root of it all, everybody still wants to be seen, heard, acknowledged, understood by other fucking people, in whichever degree or caliber they want it to be on. And so when you got eyes like that, when you appear to be a certain type of way, it don't matter how good the fucking person is. If they're not right within themselves, they're gonna shade you. They're gonna feel some type of way. I was talking about this not too long ago with my daughter. I was like, I have been levelings of naive to think, that person is not going to feel that way towards me because of, let's say, the role that they play in my life. Let's say they're a family member. Let's say they're younger than me. Let's say, I never thought I was going to have shade or hate from the younger people, like my daughter's fucking age. Me thinking, yo, you're not even thinking I'm in your plateau. Like we're like generations apart. And now, once they learn my fucking age or this and that and all this kind of stuff, I get the same treatment as I do bitches my age. Real talk. Real talk. And so for those of you tapped into and non-tuned in, for whatever it is, sometimes you trigger the worst in some people. But what you are is the catalyst for their growth and change and evolution emerging. And so good thing you came into their lives. May they grow up. I got wild up. like Brooklyn, come out. right? So the future of Earth, this melting pot, right? And it involves you. It involves what you do. You are the breed of seed of exempling that is needed in this world. And that's the only way. Right? That's the only way. For you to be the embodiment and the self-discipline, right? The self-discipline in your present is not easy. It's not easy. Because you got a lot of conditioning. You got a lot of behavioral patterns and conditioning, dictating, ruling subconsciously. And now you're like digging up from the layers of the subconscious and you're just like, okay, I'm sifting through, I'm sorting through, I'm understanding, I'm overstanding, I'm comprehending, I'm getting through all of it. Yeah. So in that famous TV show, the Vulcan race was known for its intense self-discipline to control emotion. The vegans had a similar commitment to not only self-discipline in order to work with emotion, but also to evolve spiritually, manifest what they need in the world, and organize their society. This trait can be both positive and negative,
as with everything. We give it its charge. Positive and negative exist always, right? Whether you acknowledge it or not. Positive and negative always exist. It's just like in the terms of how my preachy, like what I was saying about what was said to me and stuff like that. I was open to hear it and receive it because I'm not in that defense mode, beast mode, hurting mode of that. Like I've come to terms with people saying certain kind of things and all that kind of stuff about my preachy and all this kind of stuff. But for those of you that don't know me and that we are here and all this kind of stuff, and you are tapped in, turned on, tuned in, and maybe you've been put off by that too, like a preachy attitude. I don't know that I've been hearing that shit all my life, okay? Like, I don't know what to say about it. It's the way that I fucking speak. So it was funny too, because one of the last times that I came out, somebody was like, this was before this, right? But it was me getting clarity on it for myself. Somebody said something like, I don't even know, like, but you know, I let it go. But I was like, what you're asking of me is to be something that I'm not. I don't know how to not speak how I speak. It's rather insulting for you to, like, you don't want me to converse, like you don't want to hear my opinion, you don't want to, I can't contribute to this conversation because you don't like the way that I'm saying it. Maybe you should evolve your listening skills and be a little bit more open to other material or communication or conversation that's outside your leveling of either comprehension or freaking belief system. What that got to do with me? Was I insulting you? Did I curse at you? Was I rude? Like, I don't understand. So again, like, it's not so much being problematic, but it's again listening to what people sometimes are asking us. Like, what are you asking me? You asking me not to speak because you don't like in the sound the way it comes out to your ears? Maybe check your listening. What's being triggered right now that got nothing to do with me? You know what I'm saying? So we're doing stuff like this even for ourselves. Like, you know, I'm using this as an experience, but I'm just saying, like, we're doing that too for ourselves. So in all my people pleasing, in all my wanting to keep the peace where there was none, here I am, like, accommodating and like, you know, always taking other people's inputs and shutdowns and shade and all this kind of stuff towards my way. And now it's like, I'm listening to what you have to say. And I'm trusting in the energy, the environment of intuition that is clear as fuck. Especially when you in my presence. The other day, I apologize too for my own personal intuitiveness and invasiveness. Sometimes I don't even catch it. Sometimes people just want a private moment to themselves, but they're in a public place. I got to remember that because that'd be like me too, with anxiety or too many people around and you can feel overwhelmed because you feel everything. So that moment that you just need to like gather yourself, collect yourself and whatever. So that happened with a certain somebody that I'm like, what happened? Just out loud, like, what happened? Like, just out of pure concern. And they were like, nothing, like, you know, like, because they weren't expecting somebody to have seen that. They were just trying to have their fucking private moment of getting it together. So sometimes, you know, you just gotta leave people alone. Gotta leave people to be just who they are and let them rock it out, like, without being so damn nosy, invasive, or like bossy about how somebody tells you what, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's shit like that. Like, it's just like, excuse me, like, no. If you don't like what I'm hearing, then go walk away. I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? All right, because I do have to, oh shit, I do have to go. Take another time. Okay, so the vegans had a similar commitment to not only self-discipline in order to work with emotion, but also to evolve spiritually. Right, to evolve spiritually, manifest what they need in their world, and organize their society. This trait can be both positive and negative. In the positive sense, it can lead you to the heights of spiritual advancement and enlightenment, but in the negative sense, it can lead to self-sacrifice and even the control of others, which played out in the descendants of the vegan, the Orion. If you receive this card in your reading, you must look at your life situation and the other cards to truly see the perspective the cards are showing you. Do you need more self-discipline in life and spiritual development, or do you need less? That is a question to ask yourself too, because sometimes we become so hyper-focused, hyper-vigilant towards our goals and that which we want to create because of where we come from, right? The drive to be ambitious,
to not be in that lack-minded state of conditioning, behavioral patterns and conditioning. No, I will rise from the environment from that which I came, right? Like, so it's like you get into that kind of beast mode, savage mode. I'm just gonna get into that tunnel vision and do that. I had to do that, especially after I had my daughter. I'm not gonna get emotional, and I'm just gonna speak, please. Like, I just want to speak clearly, right? Because I gotta go and I can't be like, whatever and stuff like that. But as a mother, single mother, left to do it by herself, I had no choice but to get into that tunnel vision. I got this. We gonna be okay type of thing. And then you just hyper focus, and ambitious I became. And lucky and fortunate enough to get into the industry that I was in to be able to provide for my family. Right? So sometimes we need to just, I was talking about this with my daughter too, right? The moderation, right? Living a healthy lifestyle in moderation. That's important. It's so important. And we were discussing my moderation and just because in your own life of experience, when you detail, when you document, when you do this, when this is part of, I've been documenting my whole entire life since I can write. And now I do it digitally, even more so now. Has anything really changed? No, but what I do is I have material, as do you. If you write journals, if you write in any kind of way, or if you document in any kind of way, even if it's picture documentation or anything like that, whatever you do, you have a timeline of you, a blueprint of you. You have insight of you. And that is awesome material to dive into in all that you do, because it's going to reveal to you that which can be revealed. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so do you need more self-discipline in life and spiritual development, or do you need less or moderation, right? Do you resist the concept of self-discipline, or do you use it to punish yourself? That too comes with, like, especially with like religious background. Even with fasting, right? I have used fasting as a punishment, and spirit checked me, let me tell you. Because it was false, it wasn't true, and I was just using fasting as a control element to disguise my own emotion that I wasn't dealing with. And so if, let's say, it made to be upset, I'm gonna fast. I turned, knowing that like, I'm not an emotional eater. So if made to be upset, I lose my appetite. I won't eat, right? So in knowing this, how can that become my fast? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, all of a sudden it's like, I'm made to be upset, I'm fasting now. Right now, it wasn't because I'm fasting out of devotion, prayer, or whatever, and then punishing myself. Like, anyways, it's just insight. Sometimes we can do that. Like, sometimes you can be hard on yourself. Sometimes if you don't do something that you wanted to do, like, you can just be so harsh and cruel, like, to your own vessel. Like, oh, look, like, even when we speak unkindly about ourselves, when we body shame ourselves, or when we don't feel good enough to be seen, that makes me sad with all this body dysmorphia that is happening in this world. I guess that's another reason why too. I had to deal with my own personal, like, insecurities and bullying when I was young in school and stuff like that, and just like, my own, like, not feeling pretty, and not feeling and then, or even feeling pretty, like not seeing your own pretty, even if other people see it. Like, it doesn't matter how many times people can tell you that you're beautiful. If you don't see it, you don't see it. Like, it doesn't, I don't like it doesn't matter how many times and how often people can praise you for how beautiful you look. It's just, again, right? And it doesn't it doesn't it doesn't change how you feel. So that's why it's important to work on your own energy so that you really have the stamina to endure the trials and tribulations that none are exempt from. And for all of us, it's going to be different. You know what I mean? For all of us, our trials and tribulations are different. We can kumbaya about it and have a powwow and a circle and share in our stories and bond over many things that can be similar and same, and pain is pain. You know what I'm saying? Hurt is hurt, right? But we could also empower and stand together in positivity too. Anyways, I go all over the place. But okay. All right. So let me finish it. Okay. Punishing yourself. There's so many ways that we can punish ourselves. That was what I was talking about. And I think it's important, I guess, because it's coming back into my okay. Stop punishing yourself in thought. Stop punishing yourself in feeling. Stop punishing yourself in any way. Right? Cut that cord of self-sabotage and punishment and unkindness that we have towards our own self in any way, seen and unseen, known and unknown, hidden in our subconscious layers. Let it be uncovered, identified, transmuted, transformed, released, let go, you know? Okay. Examining all these factors and more will help you see how the message of this card can be applied to your life, right? The melting pot. This is the future. So the present is this self-discipline, right? And then the future is this melting pot, right? Here on Earth. Here on Earth. I make no apologies for my weirdness. Unity from diversity is one of the most powerful evolutionary ideas for a species. Humanity is an amalgamation of many diverse ET species. It is a direct reflection of the galactic community. Once humankind begins to fully embrace those who are different and sees itself as one people, it will be ready to join the galactic community. Come on, how many of you are still waiting to be abducted? This card reminds you that beyond the race, gender, skin color, and beliefs, all beings come from the same motherfucking source. Humans must transcend the fear. This is why I don't get lost in skin color, nationality, race, this thing, or any words that they want to say. When people have been asking me ever since I was little, oh, like, what are you, like Spanish? No, I'm alien.
As are you. All right? So don't get lost in the color war. Okay? It's not real. It's an illusion. Humans must transcend the fear of those who are different and extend their hearts to all beings in order for this necessary evolution step to be activated. This card refers to Earth's future time stream in which integration has already happened. Integration of beliefs, races, religions, and any circumstance that would create the condition of other. And so here begins the self-discipline now, for our future depends upon it. It refers to the time stream in which the unity field of Earth is far stronger than the ego desire for insistent individual expression or separation. For any planetary species to survive, it must move beyond the fear of other and celebrate the unification of all life. This does not mean that everyone becomes clones or zombies. It is a wonderful balance of unity with diversity. This is the future that awaits Earth, but in the meantime, our challenge is to look within our lives and see where we have fear of anything that is different than what we feel comfortable with in our own reality. If this card came up in your reading, it can mean that you are still resisting a change in your beliefs or fears about something other in your life. This may also refer to pushing away a scary part of yourself that you don't want to embrace. Conversely, the message may be acknowledging how well you have done with the process of integration in your own life. Yeah. On the level of ET energies, it could be referring to your many ET connections and how through time you have come to embrace all of the galactic energy influencing you. In order to ascertain what this card specifically means for you, let your intuition guide you and listen to its messages, even those you may not want to hear. I love that. I love that. I love that, right? So I was looking at myself. You caught me. All right, for those of you that are tapped in, turned on, tuned in right now, let's see what angel numbers do we have for those tapped in, turned on, tuned in right now. Angel number 27. Your mind is wide open and you are tolerant and compassionate toward all ways of life. You value freedom of expression and want to improve the conditions of people, whether in your community, country, or the world at large. I am expressive. And 7, 8, 9, right? So it equates to 9. 9 is a number of completion, right? So completing the cycle of opening, right, of our mind, right? This completing of the cycle of this transition, right? This awkward stage of transformation that we are embodying, right? You value your freedom, right? As an individual, you're improving your own conditions, your own communication, right? Within your own community. You could be changing communities, embracing new communities, right? Moving states, traveling the world, right? Your mind is open and you are embracing your own unique expression. I love that, right? 6, angel number 6. Your heart is your gift. I won't cry. Your heart is your gift. You are a natural born nurturer, right? And have a great talent for helping and healing others. You are the epitome of self-sacrifice and a protector of those you love. I am nurturing. Portals. Thrills are portals. There is no beginning and no end. all is infinite. It is time to develop your spiritual side, right? You are gaining new insight, right? And understanding of both godly and earthly things. I am limitless, right? You are limitless. I am limitless, right? Here we go. Affirm that, know that, believe that, show that, grow that, embody that, pray that, say that, feel that, vibe that. One, right? One, you are a self-starter with very innovative ways of creating. You could be a life path number 1 too, right? Your determination and endurance are powerful and will help you get through rough times and reach success. I am innovative, right? What else? What other angel numbers do we have for those tapped in, turned on, tuned in to? Ooh, 666. Here we go. I am centered, right? And then this one fell. 888, right? I am abundant, right? So 666, a wake-up call for you to re-examine your current situation and change the direction of your thoughts, right? So you can raise your vibration to a more positive frequency. I am center 6, 12, 18, which equals 9. So it's a completion of a healing time too, right? So you could be a life path number 9, you could be a life path number 6, you could be life path number 8, right? You could have been born in 1968, you could have been born in 1986. Okay. Yeah, 8. 12, 8. You'll be 24 years old too. You could be 42 years old as well. Right. So completing a cycle of evolution in balance, right? Because 6 is all about reciprocity, right? So 6 is all about this reciprocity, this balancing act of this give and take, right? And so you have a 9. So the 6, 9, right? You could also be a Cancer as well, or have Cancer in your chart, right? So or maybe Cancer North Node, right? So either way, so it's about completing the cycle of this reciprocity that may have not been balanced in your life. So it's like having this moderation, right? It's this moderation of stuff, right? And so here you are. So right, 24, and then this equals 6 anyways too, and you reduce it down, so it's 6. Back to that reciprocity, back to that balancing act, back to that give and that take, back to that centering, back to a state of justice, where things are for flow to exist, for that flowing water to exist, right? As you focus on all the wonderful things that surround you, you're clearing the path for more positive energy to flow into all areas of your life and creating a place for abundance. I am abundant. Okay. I love that. Be 32 years old, you could be 23 years old, be 29 years old, you've been born in 1961, be a life path 1, be a life path 2, could have been born in November, could have been born in February, don't have to. All right, you have, so this is life path 11. Some people go by that. If you believe that you're a life path 11, I reduce everything down to a singular digit, because the singular digit is which in everything came. You can still add the influence of the 11 if you want to, but in overall reality, it's just life path number 2. You have keen awareness of what is happening around you, believe whatever you want. A strong intuition is your gift and will help you understand the unspoken feelings and thoughts of others. This insight allows you to be a great guide and supporter. So I am intuitive, right? So for many too, don't by any kind of rejection from those that you might be too intuitive for, where people don't want, you have to learn to always respect people's space, boundaries, and not everybody's open to want to receive that which you have to give. And you have to allow them the space to to choose that for themselves, right? So I'm very, very, very conscious and mindful of this, especially with the people that want to be in my life and all this kind of stuff. And I try to make it clear, like even from like Jump Street and stuff like that, for certain kind of things, like, and if there's something, let's say I receive that I feel inclined, that, intuitively prompted to say, and if it doesn't come out natural in some kind of way, I usually do ask permission first. Is it all right? Because just because you can doesn't mean you should. And just because you can doesn't mean that you all of a sudden have this mighty sword that you can swing around and choose for people what they are to receive and learn at this. It's not at it's not you, it's not when you say, kind of thing. "26, you could be 26 years old too. I'm tactful. You have a desire to succeed. That's awesome. And will feel most accomplished when your work benefits others. That's awesome. Your intuitive awareness of what people want allows you to come up with innovative solutions to meet their needs," right? Awesome. 11:11, right? I am awakening. I love that. The universe is arranging people and experiences on your path to help you succeed and helping you to wake up to whom you truly are. I love that. 17, right? They've been born in 1971 too. The quality of work you can produce when you're going at it alone is almost unbelievable, right? That's right. People be looking at, like, especially you motivate, like the type of stuff that you do and things like that is meant to inspire. So those that are not feeling inspired by it and are triggered by it instead have a lot of healing to do. And so it's with a heart of compassion that you're like, I understand where you're coming from. Misery loves company. I'm sorry that you're feeling a little bit miserable right now, but I hope that one day when you continue to work on your healing journey and then you come back to this message or you come back to this state of place, and you'll be in a different state of energy, frequency, vibration, that you'll be more open and less triggered to receive that which was beautiful for you to receive from Jump Street. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. It's just like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Solution. It ain't your problem. You know what I mean? Okay, so the quality of work you can produce when you're going at it alone is almost unbelievable. You are as independent as you are ambitious. Capable of performing every step of the way with efficiency, focus, and skill. You can do this, whatever it is too that you have programmed or mapped out in your mind that causes you, and this could be too the voices of the past, people that you intuitively feel like your family, for the people that you feel like that should support you, and they freaking don't, they just don't, the energy of that shade and all that kind of stuff that they will, however it is that they engage, you're fighting that, like, I'm gonna prove you, I'm gonna prove that to you. No, prove it to yourself. This mission is about you, it's not about them. You're the main character. Like, reciprocity, balance. Okay, your heart is your gift. You are a natural born nurturer. Remember this, okay? And have a great talent for helping and healing others. You are the epitome. Hold on, shit. Okay, where were we? I was asking myself, and now I'm asking you. But helping and healing others, right? You're the epitome of self-sacrifice and a protector of those you love. I am nurturing. This is again, right? So you have 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, right? Which is 6, 12, 18. 24, which is 6 again, right? So yeah, it's about that balance act, that new beginning, that self-sufficiency, right? Because you are extremely capable. You are capable. You are more than capable in life, and that's it, period. Okay, so You are highly creative, right? You are highly creative with a strong will to succeed. Your imagination is highly charged. It reveals itself in everything you do, from your sparkling conversation to your most prized project. I am inspiring. I am inspiring. Yes, you are. And you might, and you'll see that too. Like when you go to outings and things like that, when you walk into the room, everybody sits up, everybody perks up, everybody's looking. Haters are gonna hate. It doesn't matter. But when you're talking with people and you're engaging in conversation and you're making eye contact and you're making people feel heard, seen, and you have such interesting conversations, and people look to you and they want to hear your conversation, they want to be around your energy because you feel so good. So the more that you work on your energy and the more that you work on that, right, your energy is exuberant, right? And those that are going to be triggered by your beauty, it's not your fucking problem. That is theirs. And no more letting it ruin your day. It's like, okay, your life. And it's not even that. You don't even have to, I take that back. I'm correcting myself right now. I don't even want that to be their loss. Because I wish nothing but good. That's just on you. There we go. That's on you. That's on you. Everything you do is 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 on. Everything you do is on. Everything you do is on you. You. Oh, I forgot. I did a stretchy thing in the beginning. Yeah, stretch, expand. I love that. All right. So next time, that's what I got for you guys. Yeah, I was back on camera for now. But sometimes I'll come on camera. Bye.